Okay, so here we have a little bit of wind blowing across the water and across the ground, and you'll notice the wind doesn't move the ground, but it does move the water a little bit, right? And here we have a beach. It may be a little windier here, and the waves are coming up, you know, they're angled up to the beach, so they pop out of the water a little more, but there you go. Wind, again, will move the water, but it doesn't move the ground. And then you have an earthquake, and I'm going to show you some earthquake footage where the earth moves a little bit and the water moves a lot. It is very affected. And this all has to do with the equatorial bulge, this fake concept of this spinning ball Earth, where they say the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, and this is ground that is bulged up 14 miles high all around the equator. And you talk about movement, and well, yeah, the water would be moving. So we're going to get into that now. So here's some earthquake footage. All right. And this is what happens to water. People happen to be filming these swimming pools. See this? The ground's not moving anywhere, but the water is. Now, they tell us the Earth is rotating at its equator at 1,000 miles per hour. That's a rim speed of 1,000 miles per hour. Well, they know that would disfigure the Earth, so they've said that the poles are flattening due to the centrifugal force of this rotational speed of 1,000 miles per hour, and these poles are flattening many miles deep, and the equator is bulging upward 14 miles. Think about that for a second. That much ground being shifted, right, beyond measurable rock and dirt, and of course the water, but all this being shifted and being sustained, right, because they'd say, well, it's in equilibrium. Well, okay, so it would be sustained, right, into this warp of the Earth. The equatorial bulge would be bulging out 14 miles high. The poles would be flattening due to that displacement of the ground, right? Because the ground on the equator wants to stay in a straight line, yet the Earth is curving at supposedly 8 inches per mile, right? So that ground wants to go straight, which is essentially lifting off like an airplane. That's what it wants to do. So it's going up 14 miles high. So imagine any ground, any pockets of unevenness in the ground. Like if you have stuff that's buried in the ground, things decay at different rates. Now imagine that creating sinkholes. Imagine the sinkholes would immediately fill in, right, from the ground next to it, north of it, because everything wants to move to the equator, right? You would have earthquakes constantly for ground wanting to fill in where other ground has shifted, or decay rates. Like I said, you have wood that's been buried and all kinds of trees, and also water seeping into the ground creates sinkholes. They say that water dissolves limestone, so it goes down and water will keep moving, right? It'll be trying to move to the equator, so it's going to continually burrow under the ground, creating sinkholes. Now, if a big hole does form, there's no way it would ever stay open for more than a split second, because remember, the ground has shifted to the equator and is bulging up 14 miles high. That means that any pockets that open up on the Earth would immediately be filled with the ground shifting in to fill it up as it heads for the equator. That would create massive earthquakes like the likes we've never seen, nonstop all over the Earth. Yet we see water still. Like this is fake. This spinning ball is fake. So you would have earthquakes beyond, there would be no life. No life is possible on this spinning ball, okay? Yet we see pictures like this, still water. This is not possible.
Can you not see that?
This completely busts the spinning ball Earth, the water-covered spinning ball Earth. We are not moving. Water is the sign. This is what would show you whether you're moving and spinning. Right? Oh, people, and you can have a glass of water in this car and it can look totally still, or in this airplane. Yeah, but you're not rotating and you're not moving to the extent that would flatten the airplane and bulge its sides out due to the rotational speed or the movement of the airplane. Now, does it? Now, as I showed with this little graphic here, if the airplane were doing this, then, and it's flattening from top to bottom and bulging out its sides due to this rotation, then your water would be sloshing over and everybody in the plane would be throwing up and dead, probably, right? So this is what the Earth would look like right here. If it were rotating, the water would go to the equator.
Can you not see that?
All right, that's it. Water is the thing that tells you when you have still water like this, that means we're not moving. It's really simple.
Can you not see that?
As soon as you start an Earth rotating a water-covered ball, the water has to move. An object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion will stay in motion. This is inertia. Now the water will go straight. That's why water on a spinning tennis ball or any other spinning water-covered ball moves to the equator, because the water wants to go in a straight line. There's nothing to make it rotate around the poles and to stay put and calm as we see here. Not going to happen. It can't happen.
Can you not see that?
Gravity, people. Gravity. No, gravity. Look at this dry ice. Or look at this hockey table. These people are on the spinning ball right now. If we were spinning, this hockey puck would go sliding over into the side of the table. It's free to move in any direction on a ball because gravity tethers it to the center. Even if your ball was real, the puck is free to move anywhere. And on a still Earth, right, the puck would be at rest and it would stay still. Add any motion to this table, start to rotate it, and the puck is going to move and slam into the outside of the table. That's how it works. So here's gaslighting. They want you to believe you live here, okay, in this rotating fish tank with the water calm as glass. So when you see scenes like this, they can convince you that you're rotating. But you see, that's not possible. See this rotating fish tank? That's with calm, absolutely glass water. That's not possible. The reality is this. The water climbs the walls as soon as it starts to rotate. Why is it climbing the walls? Because water wants to go straight. An object in motion will stay in motion.
Can you not see that?
All right? And it will move in a straight line. That's why water moves to the equator of a spinning ball, like a tennis ball, or this rubber ball I have here. Water moves to the equator. It doesn't circle around. It will go in a straight line. It's only tethered to the center of the ball, and therefore it's free to move all over the ball. Gravity tethered it to the pole, then sure, water could rotate around the pole. But gravity's not located at the pole. Gravity's located at the center of their fictitious imaginary ball. And if that were the case, water is free to move all over the ball and would slide down to the equator. End of story. This is fake. We've been gaslighted.
Can you not see that?
We live on a flat, immovable Earth. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.